Hi, welcome back to my craft room. It's Kathy from Raven Vintage. We are on part 3 of the Lavender Vintage themed journal. We're making a journal from a hardcover book. We removed the book block and we reinforced the spine inside and out. And then we sewed, then we did the inside covers, the outside covers, and then we sewed our signatures directly through the spine of the book as an alternative to doing a hidden spine. So this is working really well. And here's something I'm going to show you how I do refill my glue. This is how I this is how I level my cell phone up there. I level it this way and this way to make sure I don't have you on some wonky angle. Okay, so this is I wanted to show you this. Okay, so because we have this, we used the book as is, we didn't remove the spine, we didn't separate the spine, and we don't have a floating spine. It is a little bit, what's the word I want to use? Pliable? No. You can move it a little bit, but it is strong. That will not come apart. I'm pulling in opposite directions right now. That's not going to come apart. And the material here comes over about this far, wraps around to here, inside and out, and therefore that will never come apart. Now I used regular art glitter glue. I didn't use any heavy glues, just simply because I wanted to keep things going, and I didn't want to break and have to wait an hour for things to dry. And as you can see, it's held up very well. Everything's staying together really well. So speaking of glue, I don't know if I've shown you this before or not, but I have these refillable precision bottles that I absolutely love, listed in my Amazon stores. And this is how I buy my glue in bulk. This is a 16 ounce, and this lasts me a really, really long time. So to get it from here to here, because this is how this comes with just the black cap, to get it into that little tiny hole, I actually take other glue bottles, like dollar store glue, or this one, for example. Most lids are a universal size. So as long as that, it doesn't appear to be clogged up at all. This is how I fill my glue. It's a lot less messy. Don't need to use a funnel this way. For the most part, it's not messy. And this cap fits that bottle. Like I said, it's like a universal size. Many of your bottles will fit. Okay, so now I've turned this into something I can just squeeze right directly from my bulk glue into my little, there it goes. There, like that. So I might just speed this up. It just need a little bit of patience. I'm just squeezing the big glue bottle here and filling up my little bottle. I don't know if you can see it filling up. I don't know. Can you see? I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see the glue coming out. So as long as you leave a little air spot in there in between the nozzle and the opening, you shouldn't overflow or get a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a layer or a film of glue and then it overflows. You need to leave a little bit of an air pocket there. So I'm about a third of the way now. So I'll just put this on fast forward to get to the rest. I'm gonna guess it takes about a minute to fill this entirely, maybe 2 minutes. Oop, just like that. Don't want to do that. So before I go to fast forward, so I've got that surface bubble there. Don't squeeze because it'll splatter. It's not going to fall out. So let's just take something sharp and poke a hole and put some air back in there until that falls through. There, I just busted that surface tension bubble there. Now it's back open again. That's the word I was looking for, surface tension. And I'll just wipe this off. But all in all, that's pretty clean. Okay, now I'm going to fast forward the rest. There we go. It's full. That's screwed back on. So now I have a full bottle of glue to work with. I'll just clean this off, close it, clean that. And put that back on here. Now, if I have just, it's just tacky glue. It's a clear glue. The little bit of white glue that's going to drop from the inside of this dispenser is not going to make a hill of beans difference in that. And then I can put this one away. That's how I refill my glue. Okay, so when I last left you, we were going to add a few more pockets, belly bands if you wished. So I didn't add too much more without you. I think I used some of that leftover scrapbook paper from a previous project, but it was from this pack. And I just did a few things. So I added this pocket here. And a corner tuck here. I just really like how the craft color in there can bounce off a lot of the pages in this vintage style journal. What else did I do? I did this side tuck pocket, side loading pocket. And I think I did one more corner pocket somewhere. Right here, this corner tuck. And I think that's about it. I don't think I've done anything else since we, from the last video. But I did want to show you, here is a piece that I cut to use as a backer for this. This is part of the ephemera from the lavender kit. And I thought I would, sorry. Popo was just going by. I live around the corner from the police station. So they use my road as a... Never mind. Okay, so finding this pocket, I had originally thought, wow, this really is a nice match with these craft envelopes, which it is, but I like this look here, 1, 2, 3, that layered look. So I thought on this side I could put something, and we can put this here and that on top, and I think that looks really quite nice, that layering. Now you could leave this as a pocket also, but I don't want to get carried away with pockets. I mean, we could do pockets all day long, but I think there's plenty in here, and there's certainly a lot. Oh, and I've lost track of what I was saying earlier about this journal being pliable. I talked earlier about this being pliable, like you could move it. And the one point I wanted to make was that this journal has a lot of writing space. So there's some lined paper here, which is really faint. You can't really see. And then we have all this beautiful open space for writing or adding photos, stickers, doodling. There's using the ledger paper as writing space. There is a lot of writing space in here. But as I'm going through, look at how nice and flat this journal's laying. Doesn't matter where we go, she lays nice and flat. So for a writing journal, this is beautiful. I really love how flat. Doesn't matter what signature we're in. Look how nice and flat that's laying. Oh, here they come again. Must send in more troops. Okay, there they go. So, oh, another one. Sorry. Must be an accident or something. Hope everybody's okay. So see how nice and flat this lays? Look at that. Beautiful. The whole journal is laying so nice and flat. Let me know if you are finding the same thing using this style, this method of, look how flat that is. It's gorgeous. It's going to be such a nice writing journal. Look at that. Look how flat that lays. I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy. This is probably one of the best flat laying journals, like writing journals I've made, I must say, as far as assembly. Like it's great. It's fabulous. Okay, sorry, distracted. Let me go back to this piece here. Where's our pocket? Right there. I barely even have to squeeze that. That glue's nice and full. I'm just going to center this by eye. That's, now I brought my lace out. I grabbed a few, I was at the dollar store looking for headbands that Cindy A. Lewis used to use as a closure. I couldn't find the ones that she had. I'm going to not give up on that dream. I'm going to keep an eye open for those stretchy headbands. But she just recently did a project for the design team. So if you go to my playlist and go to my design team tabs, you'll see she made an envelope journal. She used actually she used like a shipper envelope from Amazon, like her Amazon packaging, and she cut it open. I'm going to link that video below so you can see what I'm talking about. Anyways, I could not find any headbands like that, so we'll probably do my usual ribbon closure on this one, and but I am going to keep my eyes open for exactly that. Now, before we go any further, those pockets that we glued, let's just trim any excess. Now that that has had time, I can see just a little bit right here, just the overhang. You could use a craft knife. It really wasn't even worth cutting. It's probably because I'm going the wrong way. Let's try this. That's better. There, like that. There's just a little bit of overhang on that one. This one is a little bit more. So I'm just going to trim. There, do you see the overhang there? I'm just going to trim those off. So that's what I was talking about. If I were to glue those with these two edges lined up perfectly before I sewed it, I could end up with a bulgy pocket like this. We don't want that. So that's why I always wait until after my journal has been sewn to glue those pockets, and then just simply do this, trim off the excess. That side's good. This isn't actually that bad. Sometimes it's a lot worse. Like quite a bit of overhang. See that there? A little bit of overhang, so I'm just going to trim those. Okay, so that's done. See, that didn't take very long at all, so that's totally worth it to do that, to be sure that you didn't end up with wonky pockets, and now they lay nice and flat. Our knots are laying flat. This is a good journal. I'm really happy with this is good solid construction. I really like the construction of this journal. Okay, now let's go through possibly and add lace. So really light lavender colored ones. I know I kept saying mauve, and I know that mauve is probably more of a grayish pink or a brown tone to you than lavender is more of a gray blue type tone of purple. Cool. This is more of a cool tone rather than a warm tone, I guess is what mauve is, more of a warm tone. So I'll try to quit saying that. It's funny. Is it red and pink? I've noticed a distinct difference in what Canadians versus Americans call pink. or yeah, something that we would call red. In Canada, you refer to as pink. So I think it comes down to the tones, like if it's, or hues. Well, if it's warm or cool. Isn't that interesting? Okay, this is a really pretty color, and that's going to be quite nice for some of our tags. That is lovely. Let's look at this one. These are just from the dollar store. So if you're from Canada, these are from Dollarama. I think it was Dollarama. Very pretty. I think we might have some of the same products in the US and Canada in that regard. I have been sorting out my oh, that's really pretty. Isn't that pretty? I've been sorting out my fabrics. Oh. At least they're all going to be in one spot and organized, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to store them, organize them. They're all out in my kitchen right now. So, and then I have this Dollarama oh, that's right, Dollarama's from Quebec. Like my vintage stuff too, and I will put some vintage lace in here as well. But that gets expensive. There we go. Okay, so I would like to see a little bit of lace popping out the sides here. I would like to see some used on the edge of pockets. This one here, I thought maybe we could do a double belly band using the lace itself. Now, would I want to use that one or the wider one? Let's do the wider one. I think that's a nice play off this page here. So, and I have a lot of people to say hello to, and I just need to grab my fabric scissors. I'll be right back. I think it might have been Sherry Mills that said, "You need some fabric scissors, girl." But you know, these are fabric scissors. It's me that can't cut straight. There. Quite like that. So we'll make this into a double belly band. So you could slide something right directly underneath the lace itself, and then also something through the paper part. So does this have a front and a back? Kind of hard to tell. And again, I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. And with the precision bottle, this is another reason I really like using these, because of things like this. There. There. So yes, there's quite a few people to say hello to that commented on part 2 of this series, and I'll probably do it a few now and a few in the middle and a few at the end, because, or at least one more time. There's a lot to get through. I also found this one lace. This is a vintage lace with purple in it. It's pretty too. Okay. Okay, that is very pretty. Kind of like that, just as it is. I think we need to add a little bit of lace. Okay, so let's keep this. I'm rethinking here. Okay. The very first page needs a little stability. So putting some lace on this first page is not a bad idea. I don't really want to cover this up, so maybe just something really thin. Most definitely the first page of the journal should be, because I just used regular copy paper here for the first page, I would like to reinforce this a little bit. I could do the other side, but the doilies there, I always like to have something sturdy on this front page. I think I'll stick with this. So again, I'm just going to use art glitter glue, thin bead of glue. And I may do this on the front of each signature just for consistency. It's another way of keeping the flow and keeping things evenly dispersed throughout your journal. It's just, I have this lace out right now, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So I did the front of the first signature. I'm going to go to the second signature. I'm going to do the front of that signature as well, and same with the third. That's how I keep myself, one of the ways to help keep myself balanced with, well, like I said, keeping the flow and keeping it dispersed nicely and evenly throughout the journal. And I really like using art glitter glue for, which I have listed below in the description box underneath this video. If you hit more, you'll see it down there eventually. There. So that is, it's not like over the top, it's just a little bit of lace there. And then we'll go to the beginning of the last signature, which is right there. Same thing. There you go. And I just had a thought too, if you are a junk journal maker that sells your journals, which by the way, Kimberly, I saw your comment. You know how much each, like this was $1.25 Canadian. So if you are counting your supplies, it's good to, and this tells you, I mean, you could exactly do that because it tells you it's 2.5 meters. You could calculate this in centimeters, and then you could figure out your price per, and that would help you with your cost on your journal. I don't do that. I don't cost my journals out. I just have a set price, mostly based on hours of work. And if I know there's a lot of extra vintage elements or something in that sort of thing, or technical skill or something, I kind of have 3 price points for my journals when I'm selling them. That's another video, but I just thought I would share that now. Okay, so you can see just a little bit of lace showing there. Beautiful. So now if I was going to do a second lace, like this beautiful purpley mauve lavender one, it's the same width. I like that. So let's find a spot. This would be really nice on the tea dyed paper opposite there. So how about that? We won't do all page edges. We'll do something a little bit different next, but let's get some of this color in there as well. I'm going to aim for a shorter video today. I'm going to try. So it's after the 100 days of envelopes, and we were chatting back and forth every day. I missed you guys, and I I miss chatting with you. So it was so nice to see some of you again here in this series making comments. I was like, oh, there's Margot and there's Nina and there's Dorothea. Well, thank you guys for coming back and watching this one. I'm sure for many of you seasoned journal makers, that a lot of this is just repeat for you, but so thank you for just crafting along with me, even though it's stuff, you know, it's things you already know how to do. For the beginners, I hope you gain something from this. I have been receiving comments that it was really well explained, and I really appreciate that feedback, and I'm glad I'm helping. I'm really glad I'm helping. But for those of you that, like Corey, you've been making journals for a long time and you already know how to do this, I'm just still extra pleased that you are watching anyway. So thank you so much. So that, again, because we followed a formula when we put our journals together, we can go find this same page in the second formula and third formula to add that ribbon again for the consistency. So that is in the first signature, and it was the first, nope, that's the first tea dyed paper we see. Second. So let me go to this second signature. We'll bypass the first tea dyed, and because we use the same formula, we can go to the next tea dyed, and see, again, we're going to bounce that color off, so we're keeping it spread out evenly throughout the journal. I know it, using a formula like that and like doing this, it might take the fun out of the, you know, just the eclecticness of whatever. But we're gonna get a little bit on the wild side. Don't you worry. We're gonna do some tearing and ripping, and that's what we're gonna do next, right after this. We get this ribbon in. So yes, Margot, thank you. You said it was well explained. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. And thank you for watching my tutorials. Thank you, Margot. Nina Hansen loves it. Thanks, Nina. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I see you also on Instagram. Thank you for following me here on YouTube as well. Okay, so now we're going to go to the third signature. Same thing. As soon as I find it there. There we go. There's the third signature. We're going to bypass the first tea dyed, and we're going to go right to the next tea dyed. And again, we have, because we use some sort of consistency in our formula of putting our signatures together, this is working out. So I hope for anyone that's new to making junk journals, that you can see when, you know, it might seem a little overwhelming. If we put a little bit of practicality to it, like a little bit of a formula and a little bit of direction like that, I hope that takes out some of the overwhelm for you. I really do. Okay, so again, we have consistency. We've got a nice placement of ribbon throughout. I think that's pretty good for page edges for now. Wouldn't you say? I like that. Okay. Now I said we were going to get a little bit wild, didn't I? Let me first just put this. I got this little metal one in a bag full, like, you know, like this. When you at Value Village, they're on the wall. They have the bags of goodies. This was with some sewing stuff. This was inside one of the bags. That was a good find. Okay, so right now I want to go through and I want to look at layering. See how we have this cascade? 2 is good, but 3 is better, or even more. So I noticed on the back side of that signature, so now that's the center of the signature. I'm talking about the second half, or the back half of the signature, where this same arrangement. See this layering here? This is the other side of it. So there's the music sheet, and then the book page and the envelope flap. Okay, so two choices here. Looking this way, we could do the layering across. So I think what I'll do, I'm looking at the text here. I think where I have the longest line of text right there, I'm just going to tear this off. So now we have something that looks a little better for layering. Now this we're going to peel off eventually. You could also glue it down if you wanted to, but I'm not. We'll put something there long and narrow afterward, and maybe even lace. That might be a good place to put some lace as well, just on that strip. Okay, so let's go through into each signature and see if we can do the same thing. So let's find, so again, there's the 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the opposite side of that is here. And again, I'm going to layer 1, 2, 3, and then there's actually 4 here because I folded the music sheet right back. But let's see. That looks much better, don't you think? Ignore the white strip right now. We will do something with that, but this layering looks really good. And then in the last signature, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then the back side of that is here. And again, same thing. I'm going to just kind of in the middle. Let's just tear a bit off that. There, that looks better. Don't you agree? I don't think there's anywhere else that I really needed to do that. But if we come across a section like that, by all means, that's something to consider. Is don't be afraid to, even your book pages. So let's maybe take a quick flip through and see if there's any place we could do that. Now here, if I wanted to, but I do have something centered on this page, so that does not actually make sense to do it here. But if you want to just pull a page back to see what it would look like. That, now we have something on. This is our ledger paper. And the fold is on the other side. I would like to leave that just as is for writing. It's completely fine. Now here, this, we could pull that right back this far so we get a nice layer look there. Would you like to do that? We can do that. I'll get a taller ruler. So how far? So you want to make the same, this distance from here to here. We would kind of like the same distance from there to there. So you can fold it this way so you can give yourself a line to go by. Like that. Looks pretty good. Like that. Now it's taller, so you could rip this as well. I'll show you without it's sewn in, just as long as you're not going past your stitch lines, but we could come in a bit here. And then this we can just rip it off there. So same thing, just come in a little bit. There. I probably could have come in a little bit there. Tweezers, where are you? There we go. Oh, better put There, so now you've got a layered look there as well, with some beautiful torn edges. Now on this side, does it make sense? With that color, I kind of do like that, so I think I will just take off an edge here. Not a lot. Like that. Now I like that we did something different with this side of the page opposed to this side of the page. So this is that same page in the signature, right? That's the back, that's the front. That's the same page. But now that it's already sewn in, this is why ripping after it's okay, because you would never think to rip that configuration before you sewed it in. So, and I like that layered look. It's to me, that's one of the most vintagey things you can do with a journal is do that layering. Okay, and then flipping through, we can find that same page in the next signature. It's here. And I kind of like the way that looks already. I don't want to tear that one just because of the space from here to here is pretty much, I'm happy with that. So I think I'm going to leave that side. And then this way, same thing. So I think I'm going to leave that one. I like that it's different. We have layering here, so I don't really care about doing any layering on either side of that bundle. Now this we could bring back a little bit, but to show the lace, but I think when it's laid flat, it shows the lace already. So I think we're good with that one. There's a grouping of layering, so I'm fine with that. Okay, so here, I think we could do it here. Let's layer going back this way. And that's also going to show this on the layer on the opposite side. So I've got a little bit of layer going, looking that way, and then this way we show show this here. So therefore, when I glue something on here or a pocket or something, we're going to make sure that we layer. So we create a layer by adding something to this page. Pockets, that's pretty good. Do I want to make a third layer? I could, and I think we will. Just a little bit. Oops, I grabbed two pieces there. Oh, I might need to repair that. I grabbed the page behind it as well. Right there. We'll fix that with tape. Oh, do you want to make some vintage tape? That would be fun. We could do that. I like that grouping. Fine with that. That, and that's the end. Okay, so I think we're good for tearing. That's another process we've completed. So let's regroup here. Now what I'd like to do is decorate the front of our pockets on our scrapbook, the centers of each of our signatures. So from my paper, what I want to do is bring in more of the lavender color. Loving that color too much with the way this turned out. There's a scrap. There's a scrap. I made a couple of these snippet bands, so we'll grab those. Okay. I have 3 of these made. So they would be really nice either as a belly band. I could do it this way. That's really pretty right on there. But I don't want to mess with that flow. Could do it over here. Could do it on the outside of this. Could also do it. I don't want to mess up any of our layering. Ooh, I kind of like it there. But what shows on this side? I kind of like them on this facing though. Yep, changing my mind. Where can we use these? Oh, I really like them on the tea dye. Okay, so which one are you? So I'm in the first signature, first tea dyed, second tea dyed. I'm on the 3rd page of tea dye in this, and there would be the 4th. Okay, so let's use that as our guide. I'm going to glue these on. I might have to come back and snip them off a bit. So this is just a scrap of cardstock. Dear goodness, my brain's going. Is that menopause? I don't know what that is. I can't remember anything. And I'm just going to make sure I want to make sure that that cardstock is, see where it sticks out here? I'll come back and trim that off. Just let that dry for a minute. Okay, so we're going to go to the 2nd signature and we're going to go to the 3rd tea dye. 1, 2, 3. Same thing, we'll just add 1. I love paper clusters. If you have a vintage snippet, like if you have a fabric snippet roll that you've done too, this would be another way to use it, or a good place to use it on your page edges. Again, I'll have to come by and trim that. Oh, that's pretty. So pretty. Okay, and then in the 3rd signature, which I can never find. There it is. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. And then you get this one. So pretty. Okay. Love it. See how it's great to make stuff like this with your scraps in advance? Boom. Just throw them in your journal. We'll do some of those with one of the bulk make live videos I plan on doing soon. Okay, so in this case, I need to trim top and bottom. So we'll come back and do that when that's dry. Okay, and somewhere in here, to recall, I said I would like to create a layer. Okay, glued shut there. I wanted to create a layer here with something. So I think I like that there, but I want to, let's see, this one's better. Okay, this is better. I'm going to fussy cut all around I'm going to keep the butterfly and the calling card. Okay, so there. So I think by adding this here, we get the layered effect that I was hoping for. Quite like that. So again, just fussy cutting right straight from the kit, from one of the journal pages. which is one of the great things about printables too, is you can use the collage pages and kits so many different ways. And fussy cutting images out of them is one of the ways. Yeah, so I just added a little ink around the calling card and around the butterfly to add for a little bit of more dimension. Okay, so I got sidetracked. I wanted to do the pockets, decorate our pockets. So, okay, this is really pretty. So I'm just going to kind of put that in the corner. So the margin here and here is about the same. And then I'm just going to trim around that and use that to frame this piece before I glue that onto okay, so I should just start at the beginning so I stay in order. But I don't like that color. I like it better. Do I like it here? That pocket's smaller, so I guess we'll just start where I first started. I'm going to glue that right down, and then this one I'm going to glue on top as a pocket so you could tuck a tag or something in behind this piece. But this will glue right down. Like that. Okay, so now we can use this as something tucked in the front there, as well as the pocket at the back here. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that little bit of homework. Go through, add your ribbon, and I didn't add any ribbon to pockets yet, but that would just be a matter of putting some ribbon across your pockets like this. Although we did those cute little edges, so maybe I won't. But I'm going to put some ribbon, for example, here through, and add your lace to your belly bands, your pockets, your page edges. If you don't have any snippet things like that, go ahead and make some. They're so easy. Just use your end cuts and rip those and make your little snippet strips or scrappy strips, whatever you want to call them. And then I'm going to leave you with the homework to go ahead and decorate the fronts of your pockets with some idea like this. It doesn't have to be like that. You could also just do some sort of a little happy, like just a little happy tag idea like this, perhaps. I don't really want to cover up that kitty, but you know, just glue that on so it's got some sort of flair or decor on top of it doesn't have to be a pocket. It can just be decor on the front of your pockets. So go ahead and decorate your pockets, and then we will meet back in the next part of this series. And before I go, I want to say hello to a few more people. Dorothea, she loves lavender. She's not a purple person, and I agree with you here, Dorothea. I'm not a purple person, but she mentioned amethyst crystals. Beautiful. And of course lavender. She likes to watch my videos while she's having her second tea while she crochets, so that's so nice. Thank you so much. Nancy, nice to hear from you again. I miss you guys. It's nice to see you here. Crafty Corey, again, thank you for watching, even though I know you're a pro and you're watching my simple tutorials here, but I really appreciate it. and Sherry Mills. We had some good conversation. Thank you again for your compliments about my training style. I really appreciate it. Kimberly, yes, the journal is yours should you want it. Mummy of Five, hi. Also from Ontario. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. You like Dollarama or baskets too. Aren't they great? They're fabulous. She's been creating journals for quite some time now, and she does like mixing old and new using digitals. Thank you. You are my soul sister, I think. It sounds like we're into the same things. Oh, yes, I agree. That's what makes a journal unique. I love that. She liked some of the tricks and tips. So thanks for being... My battery died while I was in the middle of thanking Carrie for watching. So thank you, Carrie, for being here. HG, you you and I both know, I know exactly what you're talking about, and thank you so much for being here. I feel the same way as you do. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching, and thank you for your compliment about my videos. That's truly appreciated. Adriana's new too. Hi, Adriana. Also from Canada, a fellow Canadian. Thanks for being here. Yes, I really love chatting in the comments. If you get to know me, if you watch a few of my videos, I love that. So I especially have enjoyed that in doing live videos. So I plan to do more of those soon. And yeah, that's lots of fun. So thank you, Adriana, for being here. I'm glad you found me on this channel here on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for... I'm glad you found me. Thanks for being here. Hi, PJ Sutton. PJ likes to watch videos during the lunch hour. I used to do that when I was working. I'm retired now, but I used to watch YouTube tutorials while I was eating my lunch. Quite often I'd go grab some Wendy's or something, and I would sit in my car, eat my lunch, and get my phone out and watch tutorials. So yes, I am with you there. Thanks for watching, PJ. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Gypsy Camp Crafts, I think also new. Thank you. Yeah, just found you yesterday. Thank you for your work. Love your work, and I'm looking forward to the finished product. Yes, me too. Thank you for being here. Well, I'm glad you found me. Thank you so much for taking the time to leave a comment. I really do enjoy chatting with y'all in the comments. Island Girl. Hi, Island Girl. It's been a while. How are you? Great to hear from you again. Lots of replays in your art room, when you're in your art room. Oh, you're working on the Altered Travel book. Oh, fabulous. And you can't wait to work on the lavender. Oh, thanks. I'm glad to hear that you're doing these projects with me. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't talked to you in a while. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Thank you so much. And Sharon is a busy girl. Sharon, I mentioned in the last video, she is 75 years old. She does a lot of crocheting for as a volunteer thing, and she makes gifts for people. She said being 75 has its drawbacks, but I'll tell you, she sure puts us to, you know, you keep us on our toes being, you sure do, Sharon. Sharon's busy. I think it just goes to show you that crafting can really have such a positive effect on our well-being, regardless of our health. I think it's good for your mental health. I think there's lots to be said for junk journaling. I think it's very, very good for your soul. Oh heck. Oh heck. Well, it's been a minute. How are you? You can't watch videos while you're crafting because you need to focus on, I get that. I totally get that. Yep. I get that. I think I've shared this trick before. There's some videos that I watch because I just want to get to the point and then try it. Also to try to get in as much as I can. I put the speed. I changed the playback speed to 1.5. I watch a lot of videos like that. And then when I need to slow it down or stop it so that I can try the whatever I was just learned. Yes, I'm with you there. I understand that. about having to stop the video or not watch the video while you're actually trying something. So yeah, nice to hear from you, oh heck. Genevila Long. I do not know quite how to pronounce it. Genevila? Genevila. Genevila. That is pretty. That's a pretty name. Hi, I'm new here, relatively new to junk journaling. Oh, well, I am glad you found this craft. I'm glad you found us here, or me. I found the channel, and we have a really nice community here, a great group of people that chat back and forth in the comments. I'm glad you found us because yeah, we have fun here. And apparently I have people watching that are seasoned junk journal makers. Like they are have been making journals forever and they still watch, like Crafty Corey. And then I have a teaching style apparently that is great for beginners, helpful, because I'm methodic, I guess is the word. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here. You're gonna love junk journaling. I love junk journaling. It's so nice that you can take the premise, the idea of it, and then make it your own in whatever style. And you even mentioned that like vintage grungy isn't really your thing, and that's okay. You can still take the basic the base product of what we make, but use any color, any paper. You can do, you know, bright, bold, vibrant colors. You can do just straight pastels. You could do, you know, everybody's into their own thing, but you don't have to. You can still follow the same instructions and process of making the base journal. You don't have to use these papers. Yeah, and I think that's one of the great things about junk journaling is it's so personal. Like you really, I always say your style will find you. So just keep practicing and practicing the process of making, like for example, adding a belly band, adding a, you know, layering, doing those things. If you just keep practicing those, but you just pull the papers and the ribbons and the colors and the things that you like, your style will find you. It will. I think it's, some people ink, some people don't ink. So it's Genevila. I really hope I'm saying that right. I love pronouncing names. So thanks for being here. And I certainly hope you stick with junk journaling. It's really a wonderful thing. And this is a great channel, isn't it, everyone? We have fun here. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hello, everybody that did pop by in the comments. I really appreciate that. And like I've said before, it's like you're sitting right across the desk from me here and we're crafting together. So I look forward to talking to you in part 4. I'll see you there. Take care now. Don't forget to do your homework. Bye now.